Episode 24, the flashback, the mighty flashback. What a surprise from Kubo, honestly. I forgot even to say, hello guys, it's me Simo Orhara, and in this video we'll talk about the flashback that came in episode 24. Yes, this flashback made me want to make this video only about it, because I consider it the most important thing that happened in the entire second season. A surprising flashback from Kubo, and frankly it made my face like this when I was watching it. Finally we got to know the truth of some secrets that we have been asking for their answers for years, especially about the fight between Yhwach and Yamamoto, and why Yhwach didn't use the Almighty. And Kubo not only that, but he gave us another unexpected gift, which is how Pernida, the king's left hand, came to Yhwach. Moreover, what I liked more about this flashback is that it gave us a deeper look about the true motives of Yhwach. For the first time, I can see the roles are opposite. I feel that ICHIBEI is a deceiver, while Yhwach is just a child that wants a world without fear, without death. But at the same time, that flashback also opens a new door of questions that we will talk about it in this video and also in the upcoming videos. So the flashback was 1,000 years ago, before the first battle that took place between Yamamoto and Yhwach. And this place is in the world of the living. This empire, it can be said, it's like a land for the Quincy's. They lived according to their customs, traditions, until Yhwach came with his powers, which were considered strange at the time, and he took the empire and put it under his control. According to the definition that is found here and also found in the flashback of Busby and Hirschfeld, the Quincy's, as we know, are removing horrors from existence, and this is something bad for the balance of the worlds. And Yhwach knew that the Shinigami would go after the Quincy's, so he decided that it was necessary to launch a war on the Soul Society, and this is what Yhwach will do later. But it seems that ICHIBEI knew about this matter as well. He knew that sooner or later Yhwach would make his move, because there is no doubt that ICHIBEI was monitoring Yhwach's movements when he wanted to gather his army and try to unite the Quincy's under his hand. And on the top of that, Yhwach had a dangerous power, the power of the Almighty. Therefore, I believe that ICHIBEI wanted a reason to get rid of this power, and he found it by coming to Yhwach under the pretext of presenting a proposal to stop Yhwach's ambitions, which are the rule of the world, in exchange for making him rule the Empire of Light as he pleases. Of course, ICHIBEI knows that Yhwach won't accept his solution, but as we said, ICHIBEI wants something else, which is to close Yhwach's eyes forever. And in order to do this, Yhwach used the king's left hand, which will later be called Pernida. Therefore, Pernida basically, as an entity, was present with ICHIBEI. I mean, it's almost like Ukitake. Ukitake had Mimihage inside him, while ICHIBEI had the left hand, and therefore ICHIBEI decided to sacrifice the left hand in order to close Yhwach's eyes. I don't know why, but I find it, as I said, the matter is almost similar to what happened between Ukitake and Mimihage. Ukitake made Mimihage to go out to save Ryo, and Yhwach didn't see it coming. As for ICHIBEI made the left hand come out of his body in exchange for closing Yhwach's eyes, and the latter couldn't see that happen since Yhwach can't see through the part of Ryo. And also there is a possibility that Mimihage at the time was also with ICHIBEI, and perhaps this explains why ICHIBEI stopped that attack of this new character in this flashback. That is, it is true that ICHIBEI used Ichimonji, but the way ICHIBEI reflected and blocked the attack, I find it similar to the Shikai of Ukitake, knowing that it has been confirmed that the reason Ukitake's Shikai is in the shape of the two swords is due to the presence of Mimihage inside his body, and that's another subject, needs another video. On the other hand, we can see at the time the difference between the Zero Squad and the Gotei 13. I don't know what the Gotei 13 was doing at the time. They were originally just a band of criminals, but I like what happened in the end of the first invasion when the Gotei 13 was informed of the arrival of Zero Squad. There was an official reception by Kyoraku and the rest of the captains. And this time I think Ichibe came alone, without anyone in the search knowing. For this I think he might have used the Chukaimon gate. This portal was mentioned in the flashback of Everything But the Rain and was deleted in the anime. And through this portal Nimaya was sent Ichigo from the Royal Palace to the world of the living. And the condition for opening this portal is that you must set a specific time. So Ichibe may have used it to come to Yhwach. At the same time, I do think Hirschfeld was already present with Yhwach when Ichibe visited him, because when Hirschfeld met Yhwach was still using the Almighty, and also Hobart at the time was the deputy. And as you can see in this scene, he was wearing the same dress that he was wearing in this flashback, meaning that in this flashback Hirschfeld is present with Yhwach. But after Ichibe leaves and Yhwach's eyes were closed, Hirschfeld will become the deputy. And this is what we saw in these pages in Hirschfeld's flashback, where we see that Hobart is no longer deputy. Returning to the meeting that took place between Yhwach and Ichibe, the thing that I like the most is Kubo's more clarification about Yhwach's philosophy, what he wanted, what is peace according to Yhwach. I don't know how Yhwach had a prior knowledge about the original world, but he knew the reality of it, and that world according to Yhwach was the ideal place for peace. And peace for Yhwach is the place where he cannot find death. There Yhwach saw what Ichibe offered to him as a mere deception. Rather, the biggest deception is Ichibe's answer to what Yhwach asked him about who separated the death from the life and created these new worlds. Ichibe's answer was Ryo. But we know according to the novels that the one who wanted to divide the worlds wasn't Ryo in the first place, but the ancestors of the noble families. The important thing is that Ichibe was just waiting for Yhwach to activate the Almighty so that he could use and activate the left hand, so that he could make Yhwach try to steal it, and this is where Yhwach fell into the trap. And I don't know how the left hand closed Yhwach's eyes, but what Ichibe said and what we saw is that as soon as the left hand entered Yhwach's body, the eyes of the Almighty disappeared completely. Or to be more accurate, Yhwach's eyes were closed. The problem here is that Ichibe was sure that Yhwach's eyes were closed forever, and therefore I think he saw that Yhwach without Almighty would not pose any threat to the Royal Palace, and this is what happened to Yhwach when he went to fight Yamamoto. He was defeated. But I still think that Yhwach intentionally lost to Yamamoto. Perhaps he saw that his loss to Yamamoto was the only solution to regain the Almighty again. And so finally I think the long debate of did Yhwach use the Almighty or not against Yamamoto has reached its end with this flashback. It was clear from the beginning, and we have talked about it, that Yhwach didn't use the Almighty, but now Kubo confirmed it. If Yhwach fought Yamamoto with the Almighty, he would have won the fight, the battle, and that's what Ichibe I think didn't want, because if Yhwach fought Yamamoto and won the battle, he would go to the Royal Palace. So now we have the reason why, and also the backstory of Bernida. I made a video a long time about it, and I wanted to know how it happened. I thought maybe Yhwach met Bernida in person, but it was like this, and I'm really surprised. So guys, as I said, this is just a video of part of upcoming videos about this great episode, great flashback. Tell me your opinions and see you in my next video.